Hey, what's up? What's up? We live. We're live. We're live. Day 2, week 2 of Chief Pigskin Salute to Black History Month. We're here to recognize, socialize, and energize. Tim Turner, head football coach at the Champaign High School, alongside the best host in the business. I'm talking about Mr. Charles Watkins,
I appreciate
the
that.
defensive coordinator, the defensive coordinator from Concordia. How you doing today, Coach?
I'm doing good. Can't complain. Excited for the night. Excited for the night.
Excited for the night.
Great day. And just another day to get better. How you doing,
Yes,
Coach?
sir. Man, I'm fantastic. It's been a great day. Listen, I get up early, and today I got up early and got my day rolling. I had some kids hit me up. Coach, what's today's workout? I want to kind of make sure I'm ready to go. And man, it gave me so much energy. I'm like, hey, let's go get it. Let's win the day. We're strength and conditioning right now.
When's first day of practice?
Well, the first day of the season is March 3rd. So they gave us what's called contact days.
Yep.
But, I'm using those contact days because we miss so much time in the weight room.
Right.
So I'm using those contact days to try to get stronger, get their minds right. We're hitting the film, our character development and all of those things. And then when we hit March, I'm going to hit the ground running and let's go see what happens,
When's the first game?
Our first game is second week of March, so March 20th is our first game. Yep. So, hey, before we get started, guys, I want to check in with our sponsor. This month's sponsor is the QB School. QB School is home of the best football analysis on YouTube. 8 million viewers and over 100,000 subscribers have watched as JT O'Sullivan, a former 8-year NFL QB with a PhD, break down football. In addition, a new QB School course entitled Master Pass QB Lens is available today. That was actually yesterday. It was available yesterday. So fellas, it's already out there. It'll help take any offensive coach and offensive QB to the next level. Check them out at theqbschool.com. Also check us out. Chief Pigskin's always doing big things. Nate's putting out more content every single day. If you want to check out what we're doing, check us out at clinic.chiefpigskin.com or store.chiefpigskin.com. Big things over there, fellas. It's just huge. It's growing every single day. You guys know, for those of you that's been rocking with us, I'm looking at our chat line already, Coach. We got a couple of return visitors already. Big Pete Deep Dish Football has been rocking with. Big Pete's been rocking with us. Man, Coach, he's been rocking with us. I think every night. So I want to send a shout out to Big Pete. We also got Ben Campos on here from Carbondale Community High School. Ben and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, hooked up a couple of years ago in a playoff game. We went over to Carbondale and
nice.
it was a heck of a game. They ended up winning that game, but it was a barn burner, baby.
He's a great guy.
Good stuff.
He's such a great guy.
We also got, and I might mess it up, but I'm thinking Romero Martin.
Coach Martin. Coach Martin, right out of Chicago. He's Chicago.
Out of Chicago.
That's
okay.
a good dude.
Well,
talking about X and O's, talking about triple option, Veer. He's your guy.
Oh, triple option.
He's your guy, man. He's a good dude.
Right. We also got Todd McDonald checking in from Fort Myers, Florida. Okay. Again, fellas, thank you. What we do here is for all of you. So we're just kind of hanging out, trying to have a little bit of fun. You guys hang out on this chat line as well, talk to each other. And then, as I'm able to, I'll chime in and get you guys going as well. Listen, we got Nate Allball. Nate's always with us. That's production. So when anything goes wrong, guys, I'm blaming it on production. And I need y'all to know that I'm blaming it directly on Nate Allball.
Absolutely.
We got Coach Martin. Coach Martin is from Arizona, so appreciate you, Coach. Today's guest, fellas, we've got Coach Chip Taylor, who is the head football coach at Hamline University in St. Paul, Minnesota. Right, Coach? How do you know Coach?
So funny story, right? He's literally from South Jersey, like 20 minutes from my hometown, but it took for COVID for us to meet. And our paths crossed like 2 times. When I was at we used their practice field when he was a defensive coordinator there, I believe, when we had to play St. Thomas in the playoffs. But it's through COVID. Right. We both were in a chat, and then he saw that I was from Camden, so we started talking, and he's just been like a mentor ever since then. As an African American head coach, I go to him about everything, about how to be in this profession, He gave me advice about that, and then he's a defensive guy too, so we always talk X's and O's. But just development. So I got some good questions for him today. Hopefully, he can share with our audience. And I'm excited. He's such a good guy, really good guy.
That's what's
humble,
up.
Down to earth guy.
That's what's up. Coach is ready for us. I'm gonna get him admitted in. We'll talk to him a little bit. But before we get going, Coach, I just want to point out that this is the second Philly dude that you've brought out here, right? So I see how you get down. You bring when one of us get on, everybody get on, right? Everybody get in.
Gotta bring them all with me.
Right. Hey, Coach Taylor is on. Coach Taylor, how you doing, sir?
Hey, Coach T, what's going on, man? Coach Watkins, what's up, man?
What's going on, Coach?
Hey, listen, Coach, we have not met before, but it's a pleasure, my man. I hear great things about you. Coach Watkins speaks very highly of you. And here's what I know. We've had some heavy hitters on this show, and this one he's been very excited about, right? He got on talking about how excited he is.
Hey, listen, man, here's the deal, man. When you got two South Jersey guys on coaching college ball, man, that's a big deal, man. So that's cool. So I appreciate Coach T, I appreciate you having me on, and Coach Watkins, thanks for giving me this platform, man. I appreciate it, man.
That's what's up, Coach. Listen, that's what it's all about. So I didn't know you. I'm looking at Coach Chip Taylor, and then Coach said he don't have a Twitter, right? So the first thing I'm thinking was, all right, I'm not finna be the oldest guy on the panel tonight, but dang it.
I try to move in different, I don't know, man. It's funny. I just got off the phone with a recruit and his mom, man, and we're going through some things with the whole social media thing, and I don't know. The era that we're from, and I think Coach Watkins is a little bit younger than me. I'm not going to tell you my age, but
that's one of the questions.
You could probably figure it out, man. Like, the era I'm from, man, it's like you kind of like shy away from the camera. Like you ain't trying to, you know what I mean? Like these guys want to be in front of the camera and showing everything they want to do. So, and the reality is, like, those things can hurt these guys in the future when maybe somebody wants to pay them $200,000 to do something, but they look back and, hey, this is what you did when you were 16. So I just had a good conversation about with the kid about that. So it's funny. Yeah. It's funny you brought that up.
It's funny that you say, you didn't have it because you don't like to be out in front of the camera too much. And that's interesting because that's the same take that I had. I actually had to, when I became the head football coach, I'd been assistant for so long that I'm used to being in the background. Sure. And that was where I was comfortable at. I had to force myself. In fact, I give shout out to Nate in giving me this platform as this show, because it's kind of helped me get out in front of it a little bit. It's something you got to do different, huh?
Yeah, and it's funny. Coach Watkins had hit me up. He came up here. Oh shoot, Coach, I don't want to get the line. Maybe November. He was doing some recruiting, and he came into the office, and it was cool to see him because we befriended each other. And I was like, man, you sure you want to be a head coach, man? Like, it's a lot that goes into that, man. It's a lot that gets on your plate, man. So I don't know, man. It's I don't know. I think we all get into this for having an effect on young people and coaching football. Like, that's the fun part of it, man.
Right.
So
For sure.
So yeah, man, definitely.
How long have you been a head coach?
2016 was my first year. So 16, 17, 18, 19. We didn't play in 20. So call it 5 years. Going into 2021 will be year 6. So
gotcha. Yeah. And all 5 years have been at Hamline?
Yes. Yeah. All 5 years at Hamline. Yep. So.
Gotcha. All right. Well, tell folks a little bit about Hamline. Where is it? Tell what's there to do there.
Yeah. So we're located in the Twin Cities, which is in Minnesota, St. Paul, Minneapolis. It's been a great experience to live out here. Being from the South Jersey area and going to school in the Midwest. I went to school at Illinois State, and for me to find my way back out into the Midwest, it is what it is, man. And I think you guys can both attest to when you got an opportunity to go better yourself, wherever the opportunity is, you go. So we got a and I don't know. I think I told Coach Watkins this, but President Miller, I got a black female president, man. Like, she's super competitive. She loves football. So for me, it's an ideal situation, and the area is a good area. It's like I said, it's I look at a lot of times, when families will ask, what's the crime rate in St. Paul? And because you got families that will ask that. Sure. I remember going and working camps down when I was working at Bucknell. I used to work camps down at Temple in North Philly. You know, what I mean, I'll be like, I used to go work the camp, like, oh, my car is there when I get back. Like, you know, so I try to tell families it's not that situation, man. Yeah, you're gonna have, you know, it's crime everywhere, but you know, I think St. Paul, Minneapolis is a great place to live and a great place to go to school. So.
And I definitely would agree. You know, I spent my time there. I love the area. I love Twin Cities. So
Right.
we're from South Jersey, and like you said, that, you know, being from the East Coast, you got your coach or your head coach opportunity in the Midwest. Can you talk us through that transition? Like, how's that been just in your whole coaching career? How that, you know, 'cause I know you got a family. How have you balanced all of that? And what are some of the things that you took into consideration in making that decision?
Man, Coach Watkins, I'd be lying to you. So, man, let's go back, man. So, when I got to Bucknell, you know, and as a younger coach, man, I think you would strive to be a head coach, right? And for me, I was like, man, I want to coach in NFL. Like, that was it. You know, I used to work these summer camps called offense, defense, and I got a chance to be around some really good football coaches. And one of the guys that was the head guy there would, like, you know, he would always say, hey, Chip, man, like, 10 years when I got into college coaching, I became a NFL coach. So that was always kind of my goal. So I got a chance to do a couple NFL internships, one with the Cardinals in 2008, which was a great experience, and then one with Kansas City Chiefs in 2009. That was a great experience, but, you know, things didn't really work out, you know, because and I tell my players a lot of times, life is about timing, right? Yeah, you got to be ready to do it. You know, you got to be ready to X's and O's and how to handle people, but it's timing too, man. Somebody's got to, for the most part, man, you know, somebody's got to pound the table for you. So long story short, when I got to Bucknell as a DB's coach and coaching special teams, I was like, I saw a lot that the head coach had to deal with. Like, he wasn't coaching football, and I was like, man, that don't even look fun. You know, so at that point, I was just like, all right, like, I'm not really chasing that anymore, you know? So then, long story short, the O-line coach was a Hamline alum, and me and him became really good friends. He got the head coach job here. I came out here with him as a defensive coordinator, and I thought I'd have been here, you know, 7, 8, 9 years coaching and becoming a better football coach. I'd never coordinated defense before. And then he left after 3 years. And then, like I said, we had a Black African-American president that was dynamic. And I said, shoot, if I'm ever going to be a head coach, this is where it's going to be at, man. So, right. So that's kind of my path, Coach, man. I know, I mean, you've had some conversations offline, Coach Watkins. You like, man, I'm trying to, you know, that's the next step. And I get it, man. I'm not mad at you, man.
So I know Coach Watson's got another question for you, but so if I hear you correctly, you weren't a coordinator at the time when you were? I
was, I was. So okay, I left Bucknell as a DB's coach. Division I, right? It was great. It was East Coast. I'm recruiting South Jersey, Philly. Like, it was a perfect job. And then, you know, I had a couple interviews at the time and it didn't work out. But then I came here, Division III, right, to try to better myself and become a little bit more better X's and O's wise, man, as a coordinator. Mm-hmm. And then, like I said, it kind of, I don't say it fell into my lap, but, our AD is very sharp, and he felt like I was able to handle the job. And that meant a lot to me too, because I had a lot of respect. I remember being defensive coordinator, watching our AD, like, man, this guy played ball at Arizona State, played baseball for the San Francisco Giants. Like, he's a sharp dude, won a championship as a baseball coach at Hamline, coached a little bit of football at Hamline. So it wasn't like a normal, shirt and tie guy that didn't really know what's going on. And I'm just going to hire this guy. Like, he knew, he was evaluating me from the beginning, so.
And just because I know guys like myself aspiring to be a head coach someday, what were some of the things that you did to set yourself up so when that opportunity presented itself, you knew you were ready to take that ownership on?
Yeah, you know what? I wasn't, man, Coach Watkins, man, a lot of guys will have like all these big time manuals and all those kind of things. And I think those are great, right? You got to be able to have a plan when you go in, sitting down, like the president and the AD is going to want to know exactly, what's your first 30 days look like? What's your first 60 days look like? What's your first? I really didn't have that, man. The thing that I had going for me it was relationships. Mm-hmm. Being a defensive coordinator. Like, I remember the day when the day after our head coach left, like the quarterback, who was a really good player, set a lot of records for us. He came to my office and said, "Coach, what's going on? Where we at?" Like, he wanted me to stay. So just, and it's a fine line too, because not to say that I was really meddling with the offense, but like I had a relate. Like, I would talk to the quarterback, "Yo, what's going on with you? How you doing?" I would talk to his dad. Little things like that. I think that really helped me. But that's just my style too. You got some guys, Coach Watkins, man, like, are really good interview dudes, man, like, are sharp, super, like, every job I've ever interviewed for, never got. I'm just being honest with you guys, man. I ain't never got it, but like when I got the Bucknell job, it was, word of mouth from my high school AD and from Willingboro High School, the high school I went to. And then, like I said, I worked at Bucknell, and then the O-line coach got the job, and he and I were good buddies, and he saw how I worked. So that's how my opportunities came, man. And, I hate to say that, and hopefully that doesn't, because everybody's path is going to be a little different, man.
Right, for sure. Hey, while we got a little bit of a break, I want to give a shout out to our guys on the chat line real quick, Coach. We got guys checking in. They're over there hanging out, talking to one another, but I just want to give them a shout out again. What we do here each and every night is just kind of hanging out, talking a little ball, getting to know a few guys. On the chat line right now, we got Ben Campos, we've got Nate Allball, we got Coach Martin. I think Coach Martin's out of Arizona. Campos is out of Carbondale. We got Big Pete, Deep Dish Football. Big Pete joins us every night. Also on here is Coach David Thompson. We've also got Coach Gardner from Utah. Coach Gardner from Utah. He says, snow is in the forecast every day for the next 15 days.
Well, it's like 2 degrees outside right now.
Yeah, right. That's what he says.
Hey, I know where Coach Watkins is at. Man, Coach T, where you located? Where you at?
So I'm in Champaign, Illinois. Yep, Champaign, Illinois. Got another Champaign guy on here. We got Tony Turner. Tony Turner is actually my brother and my real live birth brother. We all brothers, but we came out of the same mother. He coaches with me. He's one of my defensive line coaches. Oh, okay. And then I think Coach Gardner already on there. He said, for the record, he may have just cooked the best cheeseburgers in his life. So Coach, we got some serious things going on in this chat line. Hey, before we get back to any questions, we like to have a little bit of fun too. So it's the time of the night where we go to a little bit of trivia. All right, it's 3 trivia questions. There are 3 Black History trivia questions. All right, and I'm going to ask both you and Coach Watkins, and it's a competition. All right, here's what it is. The loser can't go back to Jersey for the next year. Loser can't go back to Jersey. And if any tie, Coach, Coach Taylor, any tie, we go to rock, paper, scissors for the tiebreaker. All right. Before we get going, I got a little bit of a little known Black history fact that I'd like to share, just as a matter of fact. William Henry Johnson was the first in the mostly black unit of World War II. He was known as Black Death. It says in 1918, Johnson and fellow soldier Roberts were on patrol when Germany raided and they attacked. Roberts was wounded, but Johnson continued to defend their posts. Despite bullets and stab wounds to his head, face, sides, and arms, it said when his rifle jammed, Johnson used it as a club until it broke. It said the Germans tried to grab Robert, but Johnson held the Germans off with his bolo knife until reinforcements arrived. That's the dude I want in my foxhole with me.
Him.
Talk about no man gets left behind. Right. That's what Mr. Johnson's on. That's what's up.
It's crazy.
All right, here we go, fellas.
It's crazy. I was gonna say, Coach, man, like a lot of people don't know, like every war that's been fought, man, like we've had a big part in that, man. Meaning we've had a big part in everyone, the Revolutionary War, Civil War, everyone, man, all them wars, man. So that's a good fact.
Right. Hey, so we're a live show. So when we're live, if there are mistakes that occur, I can either try to cover them up, or I can blame
production.
Who am I going to blame? Production. Hey, so that you guys know, the questions are on a slide that somehow has just left my screen. So here comes production to help me out.
Hey, giving Coach Taylor too much time over there to think, man.
No, we good, man. We good, Coach.
Got some wisdom over there. I'm nervous.
You don't even have a clue what the questions are, though.
The schools he got behind you, right? You see those smart schools?
Man, listen, That don't, just cause I worked at some smart schools don't mean that it all transferred. Like I don't know. They might not be teaching everything we about to talk about, man.
Right. All right, here we go, fellas. Production has fixed us up. Thank you. All right, first question. Which of the following was not invented by a black inventor? Okay, which of the following was not invented by a black inventor? The lawn sprinkler, the rolling pin, or the compound bow, which was not invented by a black inventor?
What's the
first one, Coach?
The first one is lawn sprinkler. The second one is rolling pin. The third one is compound bow. Two of them were invented by black inventors. One of them wasn't.
I'm going C.
Okay, both of y'all going C. Yeah. All right. The answer is C. All right, that's what's up. 1-1. The rolling pin was made by John Reed, and the sprinkler was made by John H. Smith. All right, question number 2. Jackie Robinson was the first African-American baseball player in Major League Baseball. Who was the second? David Stewart, Thomas Edison, or Larry Doby? David W. Stewart, Thomas Edison Alston, or Larry Doby?
Larry Doby.
Doby, okay.
I'm gonna go C, Coach. Damn.
Both of y'all going C. All right, well, y'all both right again. All right, y'all both right. It says Larry Doby was an African-American professional baseball player in the Negro Leagues and Major League Baseball, who was the second player to break baseball's color barrier.
That name sounds cool.
It says he was the first black player in the American League. He was a 7-time All-Star center fielder. He was a teammate of Satchel Paige.
Okay.
They won the championship together in 1948 with the Indians. All right, last question. Be the first to name the movie, the 1989 film that featured Matthew Broderick, Morgan Freeman, and Denzel Washington. The film highlighted the 54th Massachusetts.
Glory.
Glory it is.
Man, this guy's a wizard, man. This guy.
Let's go.
Coach Watkins, I lucked up on that one.
I wasn't even thought of.
I lucked up on that one, Coach.
Right. Hey, listen. So, Coach, you are the second dude to beat Coach Watkins. Like he had been killing him.
I had to
so
lose.
You the second one.
I would like to lose to a Jersey guy.
Hey, that's what's up, man. And you know what? Coach Watkins is from I'm from about 20 minutes from where he's from, man. So it's like we're South Jersey. So.
Right. Okay. And Coach said it took y'all running into each other over football instead of in the neighborhood, huh?
Well, no, because Coach, I want to make sure, Coach, we ran into each other. We don't know each other from Jersey. We knew each other from in the coaching profession, like just a couple of years.
Yep. Through Zoom, we happened to. I think I might have reached out to you, or we was on a Zoom, and then we found out we were from Jersey. It was
that's exactly.
Obi was the reason why we met.
Yes.
And then I found out, you were a defensive guy, and that's going to lead to my question. Just talking ball real quick.
Yeah.
Kind of talk us through that transition from being at DC, right, and then going to be a head coach. How did you balance that? Did you still keep the title, or did you just say, hey, you gave it up and then hired a new guy?
Coach, man, we could talk. I don't know how much time Coach got. Listen,
we got as much time as you want to talk.
Here's the deal, man. Coach. So my first year as the head coach, I coordinated defense, man. We had a bunch of old guys. I coordinated it, and I probably shouldn't have let it go, And I've had a lot of older guys. My mentors would say, "Man, Chip, do what got you there." Especially at a smaller school, Coach Watkins. I told Coach Watkins this actually, and he can vouch, man. The other day, me and him was talking. I was like, man, you're gonna be on a projectile. You're gonna be going far, and when you go like that at that level, I think it's a little bit tougher. But at this level, man, I'm able to have my hands on things. So my point is, in 17 and 18 and 19, at 17, 18, I started to let it go. And then the guy that I was letting it go to, he took another job. Then I was like, you know what? Let me hire a defensive coordinator. And and I think he would have been a really good one. The thing that I would say, and I hope whoever is listening, hire people that, that are aligned with what you do. I'm a 4-down guy. We were 4 down at Bucknell. That's what I knew. When I got here as a defensive coordinator from 13, 14, 15, I was a 4-2-5 hard, that was nickel defense is what we did. And then my first year as a head coach, that's what we did. 17, 18, we did it, but it was another guy doing it. Then in 19, I hired a guy who was a little bit more 3-4. And, that was, we had a lot of young guys playing. I think, like I said, he's going to be a good coach. But now my point is in 2021, wherever they let us play, I'm going back to coaching. I'm going to go back to doing it, man. Like, that's what, like I said, that's what I got into it to coach football and have an influence on young people. And I got to try to wear 3 hats, That's going to be tough being a position coach, a coordinator, and a head coach, but I've done it before. And that was the most success we've had around here. So I said, I'm putting all my chips in whenever we play again. That's what I'm going to do. So.
Real quick, Coach, what position you coach?
I'm in the back. I was close to back end.
You got the defensive backs still. Okay, yeah. Defensive backs. Gotcha.
And you alluded to it. You said 4-2-5. So explain to us within that 4-2-5, what are some coverages? What are some fronts that you guys are doing?
Well, so we base out of quarters, man. We base out of quarters, but we're always going to have. And again, I know, like, I don't know what kind of audience we have. I don't want to get too complex, but always got 3-by-1 checks built into it. We're a field defense. Our overhang nickels always to the field. Well, 99% of the time is to the field. When you start getting FIB formation to the boundary, we'll have some calls where we get that guy into the boundary, but. We base out of quarters, not to say that we won't play any single high and cover 3. We will, there's times for that as well. But, we're a little bit more quarters based here. I'm trying to always have 2 guys. And again, Coach Watkins, and Coach T, you probably, I don't know what kind of offenses you've seen, but, the quarterback run game, we're always trying to have 2 guys, we're always trying to have 2 guys on the quarterback, man. So, and we feel like quarters for us, it kind of helps us with that. So.
Sure. Yeah, so for us, Coach, we see a lot of spread.
Yeah.
And then within that, they're trying to run the quarterback a lot, so it just kind of depends on what's happening.
Any questions in the chat, Coach T? Anybody ask anything? I know guys love asking those football questions. I got
yes, they do.
I want
they do.
Audience a chance.
I've got one of my own, Coach. I was just wanted to see if you could talk a little bit about. You mentioned about the life of a head football coach. So what would you give for tips for assistants that were now that you're a head coach, right? Like, what kind of assistance are you looking for? And I'm not looking for a job right now, but when I am, right?
Here's what I'd say, and hopefully I understand the question the right way. If I can go back and do it again and build it from the ground up, I would hire more guys that were D3 guys, if that makes sense. Because the and again, Coach Watkins and I had another conversation last week. They're doing where he's at. They're doing they're doing an elite job of recruiting at this level. Meaning, having their class done early and moving on to the next one. Where we're still kind of working at it. For whatever reason, having the right kind of assistant coaches is critical. I didn't realize how important staffing was as a head coach, man. I didn't. Being able to delegate, because when I was an assistant coach, defensive coordinator here, or even at Bucknell or some of the other schools I was at, I didn't get, you had your position coach, you had your recruiting area, but that was it. It wasn't really too much getting delegated. Like, I didn't know what a golf outing looked like. I didn't know what, a coach's clinic looked like. Like, I just didn't know all those things, so just being able to have good staff that you can delegate things to is so important, man. So.
Yeah, and then let me piggyback on that a little bit. Now, as you're putting that staff together, inevitably, there's going to be coaches that bump heads. How do you handle that? You got 2 assistants. Maybe they are your let's call it your quarterback's coach and your running back's coach.
Sure.
Right, and they're button heads. How you dealing with it?
Yeah, I think a part of that, coach, that's a good question. A lot of that goes into how you, what's the temperature of your program, right? I think you got to set all those things in the beginning. When in your summer, for us, your spring ball meetings, how you set the temperature as a head coach. This is what we're about. Hey guys, we ain't gonna always agree. That's okay. You don't want I don't think you want yes men on your coaching staff. We're not always going to agree, but when we walk out of this room, we got to be on the same accord, right? A running back shouldn't go up to the quarterback coach and say, man, I don't understand his protection. What's coach doing? The quarterback coach got to say, listen, you need to go talk to your running backs coach. The quarterback coach can't say, yeah, I'm not sure what that guy's doing. Like, that's problems. Those are issues. So just making sure we're all on one page, and that's the head coach or the coordinator on that side of the ball, making sure he sets the precedent of how the things are going to go. I mean, you're not going to always agree, but you got to make sure that you guys are on the same page.
Sure. Hey, Coach, I'm sorry to cut you off, Coach Watkins. Before we go any further, Coach, we're going to let you off here soon. I want to send another quick shout out to our sponsors again. The QB School has been great to us. So QB School, home of the best football analysis on YouTube. 8 million viewers and over 100,000 subscribers have watched as JT O'Sullivan, a former 8-year NFL QB with a PhD, break down football. In addition, a new QB School course entitled Master Pass Protection at QB's Lens is available right now. And a free Pass Pro quiz will test your knowledge and rank you. Check it out. Pass Pro quiz and Master Pass Protections linked below. I'm asking production. They're linked below, production. Linked below. If they're not, we will get them linked below somewhere. Also
on our Twitter.
On our Twitter and all different places. Thank you to the QB School.
Yeah. And so my question, just because, I enjoy it, is my head coach is an offensive guy, right? So, only time he really comes to our meetings if we're messing up. Right. So I know if he's not in our meeting, I'm doing a good job. For you, you're coordinating defense now. How do you balance being a head coach by checking on what the offense is doing and where you're not just one-sided as the head coach?
Yeah. No, that's a great question, man. God, coach, man, that's good. I was fortunate my first year. I had a Big Ten. A guy from Minnesota, University of Minnesota, was the pass game coordinator. Things didn't work out when they had to transition, so I was able to have him. And he had been a head coach before. So, and on my first staff, my offensive line coach was a head coach. I had 2 head coaches on the offensive side. So that's why I go back to that last statement. The hiring process and getting good coaches is so critical, which I lucked up into it, right? I lucked into that. I think if, you got to make sure that those offensive guys, especially as a head coach, as defensive coordinator, I kind of lucked up and just had good relationships with offensive guys. But as a head coach, like, I don't stand on the defensive side. When we get the team, I stand back with the offense and with the quarter, and I can coach up the defense, off of film, and I can get with those guys at meetings. But I try to, Coach Watkins, there's a big balance that you got to have that, because I remember being on some staffs or as a player, like, oh man, the head coach is just an offensive guy. He never come down to the defensive field, or, so just making sure you're being super, super conscious of showing whatever side of the ball you lean towards, you got to get over on the other side of football too, man, and get around them guys and know who those offensive guys, or if you're offensive guy, get on the defense side and know them guys, man. So
that's what's up. Hey, we got a follow-up question to that, Coach, off the chat line. Coach Allball says, just wanted to know, when you have to hire guys at the college level, and you don't know the guys that you're bringing in, how do you know you're getting a quality guy?
Yeah, that's unfortunately, man, in this profession, you hire guys that not to say that can't happen, as far as seeing a resume and going off of the references and based off of how they interview. But a lot of it goes off of, unfortunately, and that's not just football coaching, it's in every profession. I talked to a bunch of people that make a lot more money than I do, man, and they're in the business world. It all comes down to, do you know your stuff? Are you airtight, and do your references check out? But a lot of times you'll see these jobs on the football scoop, and they'll be out there, but them jobs is already pretty much taken, man. So it really comes down to broadening your network. And what I will say for the guy that just asked that, what was helpful for me was, and I don't even know how it works anymore now, but working summer camps. Mm-hmm. That was big. And I don't even know if you can do that kind of stuff, because there were opportunities for me to work and people could see you coach and they say, okay, he's structured and he knows how, his teaching progression is good, so I'm not sure if those camps are still around, but that was helpful for me, getting out and doing camps.
Okay.
Yeah, and they are. I think there's rules, NCAA rules, where only the high school coaches can't do it now, but
okay.
like D2 and D3 coaches can.
Okay.
So that gives those guys, because when I was at Co, I worked the Rutgers camp.
Okay, and you were able to work it.
Yeah. So
Okay, good.
I did like the drills. I had the receivers. So that was, and like you said, it gave me a chance for the guys to see me
Yes.
coach. And then I eventually became a GA there. So you're absolutely right about that. Because guys hire, because at this profession, you got to hire somebody as a reflection of you or someone you trust. Trust is a big word in this profession. And if it's somebody you can't trust, that's somebody you can't work with, because it goes back to our conversation earlier when you were saying when guys butt heads, it's okay to butt heads. But when we leave that office, we leave that door, we'll still one accord. We can't go out there with different messages. And that's a recipe for disaster, right? So, but then also too, dude, you did luck up. You were Nick Saban before Nick Saban, man. You had 2 head coaches on your staff.
Listen, I was Nick Saban after Nick Saban. Yo, after Nick Saban. Yo, after.
Not
Nick
before,
Saban is
after.
the man. Yo, not me.
Right.
So,
That's what's up.
I guess, just last question. I don't know, Coach T, if you got one, but just last question for football. When you're, you say you're the head coach, are you doing drills with your DBs in position as well? And if so, what are your EDDs? What are you doing for your DBs that can get those guys better?
Yeah. Yes. So, gosh, I'm trying to think. So 2016, absolutely, I was coaching DBs. 17, I coached the DBs as well. 18, I actually moved over to linebackers. And then 19, we had some things going on. I had to jump over to the offensive side. So yeah, so I'm gonna be back when 2021 comes. I'll be back in the secondary, coaching those 4 guys. For me, everyday drills, man, is always gonna be change of direction, some kind of change of direction, shuffle, turn and run. And I know we're not, obviously training camp, you got your stance and start, and you got your eyes and everything. But when it comes to everyday drills, we're always gonna start transition. We're always going to tackle every day, and we're always going to get off. We're always going to work some kind of block destruction. I don't care if I set practice up with, which I don't know if we never had, like, I was going to say 15 minutes. Those things are getting done, even if it's in pre-practice. But, if we got 20 to 25 minutes of every individual, we're going to tackle, we're going to change direction, and we're going to freaking get off blocks. That's football right there, man. You got If you can't get off blocks and you can't tackle, then what are we doing, man? So we're going to do that every day. And then, I always try to structure it, in late in the year. If you get 25 minutes at Indy to 30, we're going to have, then you transition into, okay, this is new coverage for the week, or this is, we got to work this pass concept, so you have time for that too. So.
That's what's up. Man, Coach, this show went quickly. and here's the beauty of what we do. Your answering of our questions has allowed us to have other questions that I'm putting you behind the velvet rope a little bit. Coach Watkins and I, we come to hang out. So oftentimes our questions just go off of what you're saying. And so I appreciate you. I want to thank you. You've been a great guest for us tonight, because your answers have led to other questions, and it just kind of kept the conversation flowing.
Cool.
As we wrap up here real quick, Coach, I'm gonna take a quick look at the chat line, see if there are any questions, and then we'll let you get out of here, man. I appreciate you. It's been awesome having you on here today.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Let me see here.
Coach, can you like I said, man, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming on here, and then for also the just being a mentor of mine. Just help me out, steer me through this whole profession. If guys in the audience, they want to get in contact with you, what is email the best way?
Yeah, I would. How does it work? Can you just put my email in the chat, or how does I don't even?
Well, Coach, we live. You could just say it.
It would be y'all like Coach T, man. Yo, it's a C Taylor, Taylor, and then it's JR, so C Taylor Jr. 01. And then it's at hamline.edu, HAMLINE.edu.
Perfect.
C Taylor JR01 at hamline.edu.
And if there's any high school coaches that still got some guys that are looking for a home,
Absolutely.
Trust me, Hamline, man, I like I said, I vouch for this guy. If I had a son, I'll be more than willing to let him coach for my son. It's a great city, great location. It does get cold there though. But the campus is phenomenal. And I'm a fan.
Yeah, man, that means a lot. And again, I know we about to get ready to go, but Coach Watkins, first of all, thanks for letting me get on and letting us use this platform to talk a little bit about Hamline football. And Coach T, thanks for obviously allowing me to come on and you kind of driving this thing. So we appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate you.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
now here's what you got. Here's what I need from you, though. I need for you tomorrow for you to jump on and be on that chat line.
Okay.
Right, be on the chat line a little bit. Talk with some coaches a little bit if you got the time. If you know some other coaches that are willing and able to jump on with us. Again, it's just about us growing this community, hanging out a little bit, talking some ball. Sure. Coach, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate you.
All right. What up?
Have a good one, Coach.
All right, man. You guys take care.
All right now. Coach Watkins, man, listen, if we keep doing this, it's going to be hard to keep topping ourselves, right? Like if we keep throwing down this kind of show, how are we going to top ourselves, man?
Good. And our guest tomorrow, a guy that coached me. So I took I wanted to try to get coaches from every realm, right? So he's
Sure.
an arena football coach.
Nice. Okay.
Head coach in the Arena League, Dixie Wooten, great guy. He's from Texas. He even coached high school ball down there in Houston. So I'm excited. He's a real good guy.
That'll be fun.
He's a head coach. I think he might be even calling the offense there too. So he could definitely give us some new insight. I'm excited. I'm excited about that guy.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. I don't know a whole lot about arena football, so I'm excited to pick his brain. Hey, Coach, it's been another great night, brother. God willing, I will see you tomorrow. We'll kick off another show, night 3, and let's have a little bit of fun with it, brother.
Yes, sir. Good seeing you, Coach. Have a good one.
All right, now take care. You guys on the chat line, if you are still with me, I appreciate you guys. We will see you